Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be things look good for the narcissist until they don't. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So when you were in the narcissistic relationship, remember you were in a battle. You were being tested each and every day. You were in a competition with somebody who was trying to win. You were in a relationship with an individual who was trying to drain your resources. Again, your time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, status, health, everything possible, your finances, if I didn't say that. And this relationship, it almost took you down for the count. Now, keep in mind, you did not know what narcissism was. You did not have the experience, the education of being taught this in school. So you were in a relationship headed to Destructionsville. You could not wrap your head around how another individual not only could not think like you, act like you, reason like you, introspect like you, put yourself in another individual's shoes like you, and be absolutely a genuine individual, but they were quite the opposite. They were leading you along down a path, only eventually to drop you off in that path, and that's where they left you in the narcissistic fog. And they kept you trapped in that relationship, in that period of time, if you will. The narcissistic fog is the length, is the longest part of the relationship, because the love bomb / euphoric stage, the beginning of the relationship, is usually a shorter period of time. And then the narcissistic fog or devaluation stage, whichever you want to call it, that's where you're trapped for the body of the relationship. And then usually you get discarded or you end it yourself. Third way these narcissistic relationships end is if you're trapped in that narcissistic fog and you're in too deep, you don't see any hope, and perhaps it's been years or decades and you're so beaten down, you're just a shell of yourself, and you're definitely an extension of the narcissist. However, all of these things I'm sharing with you, throughout the relationship, the narcissist would turn the gas on. They would turn it up at times. Just when you were having fun or you were enjoying yourself or relaxing, what would the narcissist do? Well, many times they would throw a monkey wrench into your beautiful day of abundance and just being, and they would create drama. Why? Because they did not want you to be stable. They did not want you to have a good day. They wanted to blow up things, which included your birthday, events, barbecues, vacations, holidays, you name it. The narcissist wanted to disrupt these. Now, I'm not insinuating that each and every toxic narcissistic individual looks to blow up everything. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the way they use their words, the way they weaponize the abuse, the way it's insidious, it is meant usually for one or two individuals to understand what the words are that are underneath the radar. Example, you did go to a holiday celebration and you know that the person you're going to meet there is a narcissist or a toxic individual. Well, they may come up to you with a nice smile on their face and say, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you since last year. And you're like, yeah, thank goodness. But then you bite your tongue and you're using gray rock. But then what will they do? They'll have a little dig at you in front of other people, and the other people may understand what they're talking about, but probably not. It's meant just for your ears. That is the sub-layer of communication between the narcissist and its people that it's targeting. Now, why I'm saying that is because when you identify that and you're saying, whoa, that was a really nasty dig at me and no one picked it up. Yeah, that's how the narcissist flies under the radar, usually, not all the time. But things were going very well for the narcissist throughout the body of the relationship when you were in it with them. And they were going extremely well for them, but they weren't going well for you, I can assure you. Because what happened is when the narcissist met you, if you weren't born into a narcissistic family, when the narcissist met you, usually they had you fall in love with them, they had you befriend them, they had you relocate halfway around the globe or city or country, they had you go into business with them or buy them an asset or give them a house or provide resources for them or marry them or have kids with them or any of or all of the above things here. The narcissist, they wanted to lock you down. Now, when I share love, you have the ability to love because you're a beautiful, abundant, bright, shining light. The narcissist cannot love. Remember, they have no empathy, they can't love, they can't introspect, they won't be accountable, and they flat out don't care about another individual other than themselves. Now, having said that, things were going well for the narcissist, and they usually are going well for the narcissist until they don't. I want you to zoom out for a moment and understand one thing. Everything on the planet, it functions the way it's supposed to until it doesn't. So let's just take an example of cars. If you want to use a car example, way back when the car was invented, it functioned a certain way and it looked a different way than they do today, and it ran on certain different kinds of fuel, I'm sure. Well, nowadays cars look different, they're faster, their designs are different, the cars last more, their lifetimes are longer, etc. And soon people will be switching to electric cars, at least that's my belief. Point being, is that's when things change. And if you use that analogy with the toxic narcissistic relationship, things usually are advantage narcissists throughout the body of the relationship until they break, until they don't have the advantage, until you do get the wisdom on my channel and you apply the tools and the insight and you introspect and you understand that you are the priority, that you come first, second, and third. You see, the narcissist tried to take you down, and they did a very good job of doing so, but they couldn't quite do it. And now you are on the healing path, or you have healed. You are certainly headed towards that pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference. When you leave the narcissistic relationship in the past, you're learning from it. You're living the life that you're supposed to live with the education of the narcissistic abusive cycle. Remember, there are three things here. You don't want to be dwelling or living in the past. You don't want to be predicting or thinking about the what ifs of the future. You want to be living in the present moment, the right here, the right now. And you don't want anything to disrupt that energy. Just like when that train that has just passed by, and it still is tailing off right now because I can hear it, that did not disrupt my energy for a moment. I continued to communicate with you. And yes, did I hear it off in the distance? I did. I'm sure you did too. But I kept the free flow state. I kept the vibration high, and I kept moving forward to fight through that long train that is still going right now. That is a great analogy for life. You see, your life will be disrupted here, there, and everywhere. And when you were in the narcissistic relationship, that was no different. Your life was certainly disrupted, and it was not a fun period of time. It was a very challenging time, a very trying time. You were tested to your core. You didn't know what you were up against, as I mentioned so frequently on the channel, but now you're getting the wisdom, you're applying the tools. You are no longer a people pleaser. You now have boundaries. You can say no, the strongest word in the English language. You are not putting other people in front of yourself any longer. When your cup is full or is getting full, that's when you can help those loved and trusted ones around you. But again, using that train analogy that just went by, your life will be disrupted many times, and it already has. Example, think about this. Before the narcissist, you try to apply for a job, and maybe you really wanted the job, you needed the job, and you did everything you could to get the job. Did you get it? Maybe you didn't. Was there a reason why? Yes, I can tell you exactly there was a reason why. What it was, I don't know, but that is a small example. Same thing, you want to go running and you can't run because perhaps you injured your ankle or something. Okay, well, let your ankle heal, take some time off, and then begin running again. That is a very tiny microcosm of an example. Now, fast forwarding to the narcissistic relationship, remember, you fell in love. The narcissist didn't, or you befriended these people, and they didn't really care about you. They just wanted what you provided, and it's all of your resources. But things were going great for the narcissist. They really were, because they had you where they wanted you. They were getting things from you. They were pulling one over on you. They were having you work for them and work for the relationship. And then a funny thing happened along the way. You wised up and you figured it out. And perhaps you even unfortunately got discarded. And that is not funny by any means, but I'm just letting you know. You stumbled upon narcissism. You perhaps typed it in the browser of Google or YouTube, and you figured out, whoa, what was this? And you had your first light bulb moment, and here you are on the channel getting the education. You're becoming awakened and aware. And this is when the tide turns. This is when things don't go so well for the narcissist. Why? I'll tell you why. Because another individual on the planet, which is you, is getting the wisdom. You are now understanding that this person really did not have your best interest at heart, and they really did not want you to survive, and they really did want to decimate you. That's exactly what these people do. They want to keep you trapped on a shelf where you can't do anything other than exist, where you are thinking about the narcissist. You can't get them out of your mind, where perhaps the narcissist for a period of time was living in your mind rent-free. Now, that's not the nicest expression, but I know what it's like. That's what rumination is to a degree. Again, not trying to trigger you or upset you. I went through this. I know exactly what it's like. It's not a fun experience to go through. However, remember, there is no way around the narcissistic abusive cycle. You have to heal. You have to go through it. Picture a tunnel with the light at the end of the tunnel. And perhaps right now you only see a few specks of light at the end of the tunnel. If that's you, I get it. But that light will get bigger, I can assure you. If you continue to move forward each and every day, you continue to invest in yourself, you continue to drown out toxicity, and you journal, and you heal, and you meditate, and you perhaps see a therapist who unfortunately has gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle. You watch videos, you slow your life down, you heal childhood wounds, and etc. But this is your time now. I've already accomplished these goals. I've already done what I needed to get to the other side of the bridge, to get to that pinnacle of indifference. And believe me when I tell you, it took a mountain of work during a pandemic, during one of the most challenging times on the history of the planet, in recent history, let's say recent 100 years, isolated, C-19, all these things. But I did it. And if I did it, you can do it. So don't quit. Don't stop. Continue to move forward each and every day. But understand, things were going well for the narcissist until they don't. Why I share that part is because the narcissist has a new source of supply, or maybe multiple new sources of supply by now, who knows? But they can never be satiated. They can never be satisfied with one relationship. That's why they go from person to person, relationship to relationship, business to business, country to country, looking for that new shiny object, which at one point was you. And they always believe that they found the one person or the one situation or relationship that's going to keep them satiated and happy. But it never lasts. That is how the narcissist is doomed. They are doomed to repeat the cycle over and over and over again. You're not doomed to anything. What you are doing is you're breaking free, if you haven't already, and you're investing in yourself, and you're understanding that you are the priority and that you have the abundance and the beautiful, bright, shining light within you. The narcissist doesn't have any of that. They have a low vibrational quagmire state. It's a cesspool of destruction, if you will. They captured you, your experience, your health, your love, your energy, everything you possess. They captured it for a period of time. They used it, abused it, manipulated it, took it, tried to destroy it, but they didn't. Now, you may have thought they succeeded. They didn't. They did succeed for a period of time, but you're out of the relationship now. No matter how it ended, you're out, and you're healing, you're processing things, you're slowing your life down. And it's about this time usually when the narcissist at times can pop their ugly head up and rear their ugly head to try and hoover you. Do not accept a hoover. For the people on the channel that are new, a hoover is when the narcissist is trying to draw you back into the relationship. They're trying to suck you back into the relationship because their current source of supply, either A, isn't cutting it, B, they don't have a quality one, or C, they are missing what you provided for them. They're not missing you as a human being or your love and everything. They're missing how you made them feel and what you did for them. In other words, you were the unpaid helper, and you were the walking apology, and you were the servant, and you were the pool person and the errand person and the person who spent money on them and picked them up and gave them rides and cooked and cleaned for them and did everything for them and told them how great they are. That's what they're missing. They're not missing companionship or snuggling or spooning or intimacy. They're missing none of that. Why? Because in their core, the narcissist is a toxic, hollow, empty shell. There's nothing to them. All they do is mimic back to other individuals what they see from former relationships. That is why they can't sustain relationships. That is why they move houses frequently. That's why they move apartments frequently. That's why they change hobbies frequently. That's why they have new bubbles and groups of friends popping up left, right, and center. That's why they claim that these new bubbles of friends are acquaintances from high school, when in fact they're old sources of supply being recycled. And those people either A, can't break the trauma bond, B, are narcissists themselves or toxic individuals, or C, they don't know what they're up against. They keep going back to the narcissist because it's what they know, and they believe that little hit of dopamine once every couple months or a little fake attention from the narcissist is good enough to keep them along. But those people are existing, they're not living. They have no idea what life's about. The reason why they don't is because they didn't find that needle in a haystack. So things aren't going great for the narcissist. You may think they are, and right now you may be saying to yourself, well, the narcissist is still with the new supply, and maybe it's been a couple of years, or maybe they married and have kids now. God bless them, it's great. My heart goes out to them, I hope they're doing well. The truth of the matter is, behind those four walls in the house, that's where all the manipulation is taking place. You see, any filter on a social media app or any selfie that the narcissist takes, it's meant for one reason. It's meant to draw in and or lure in other unsuspecting individuals. And again, that was you at one point. There's no authenticity there. There's no genuineness. What it is, it's a individual who is looking for praise, for adoration, for people to put them in front of their own lives and to people to pump up the narcissist's fragile ego. That's how the narcissist goes from relationship to relationship. And that's why, if you were discarded, that's why it seemed so callous, so uncaring. And I'll tell you right now, it was. The reason why it was is because the narcissist ripped the mask off. They crashed on the ground, and you saw the darkness of their pupils, of the eyes. You saw their face shift. You saw a shape shift right in front of you. Not someone who loved you or cared about you. You saw someone who could not wait to take that mask off and discard you. And why? I'll tell you why that is, because they had a new supply lined up. But number two, your resources were decimated. You had nothing left to give, and they kicked you when you were down. Again, not trying to trigger you. I went through this myself. It's not a fun experience. But this is why we are survivors. This is why we are thriving. This is why we are who we are in the community, and we are getting the education and paying it forward. This is why when our cup gets full, we understand. Leave the narcissist and all those people from that former period of time in your life in the past. None of them, and I mean none of them, will ever serve you. When you got discarded, if an individual checked in on you, knocked on your door and said, hey, how you doing? You all right? I heard some things. I heard A, B, and C, which again was the smear campaign. And then they wanted to sit down with you and be there for you. Well, then most likely, not exclusively, but most likely that's a good person. And that person probably was trying to check in on you, see how you are. That person could have been a flying monkey also, but Usually flying monkeys won't be doing that. Usually flying monkeys will be kicking you when you're down and administering more of the smear campaign. But if that happened to you, that's a good thing. Someone checked in on you. My guess and speculation is no one checked in on you, because no one checked in on me. And not saying that we are not check-onable. I'm saying that usually people grab their popcorn and watch your life implode. And that's what these flying monkeys do. So remember, the path is to go no contact. Delete the narcissist, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? If you can't, utilize gray rock, which means just become boring, become dull. And don't think for a minute that everything's going great with the narcissist. It's not. Their exterior, the shell, the package, whatever you're seeing or hearing, and you shouldn't be hearing or seeing anything, but whatever information you have acquired in the past, that is just the facade. The game goes on, the cycle continues, but it must go on and continue without you, because you have now conquered something, or you are about to conquer it, which is the narcissistic abusive cycle, something that most human beings can't wrap their head around. Other human beings are in it and they don't even know what it is. And then there are people like you who have exited the relationship no matter how it ended, and you're putting yourself back together, and now you see the world through a different set of eyes. You are now entering the third version of you, the strongest version of you, the most galvanized version of you known to humankind, a version where you did not even know existed. But then again, you didn't know the narcissistic fog existed, and you certainly didn't know that the narcissist existed. So get the message. Things are not going well for the narcissist. They sincerely are. Now again, this isn't a doom and gloom video. What I'm sharing with you is, before I close the video out, is imagine, if you will, that you're the narcissist, and all this disruption you've created throughout your life, all the lies, all the manipulation, all the over-the-shoulder looking you have to do because all the skeletons in your closet, because of all the lives you've destroyed, all the relationships you've blown up, all the devastation you've created. Think about that. And then think about, for a minute, when you go to bed at night, what do? Well, you have to distract yourself. That's why you have 3 smartphones, and that's why you look for other sources of supply, because that is a cycle that you're stuck in and you can't get out of it, because you can't introspect, you can't be accountable, you can't apologize, you can't say you were wrong, and most importantly, before I close the video, you don't want to change. Play that again. The narcissist is incapable of change. The only thing they do is fine-tune their skills of manipulation and continue to weave a web of destruction throughout this planet. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you. It is cold here, and that train was a little loud. Sorry, but it was a perfect analogy. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye, guys.